Hola amigos, feliz viernes. Hoy es viernes, yo soy Rory y estoy contento de estar aquí contigo. Hace mucho, it's been a while since we've had a regular video viernes lesson. I spent a few weeks in Costa Rica on our winter program with Vanessa and Stephanie and a bunch of clients. And so hopefully you enjoyed the video viernes lessons, the listening comprehension videos we put together for you with conversations between Vanessa and Stephanie and I, and then just Vanessa and Stephanie at the end toward the final week. But we're back to Video Viernes, and I've got a lesson hoy on la historia del problema, the history of the problem. So before you get into talking with your patients about what's wrong and when did it start and all that kind of thing, some good icebreakers or conversación inicial to sort of get the conversation going, build some rapport with your patients before you jump right in. So some questions like, ¿Cómo está? How are you? ¿Y cómo está la familia? Sus hijos? If you're ever, wondering what would be some good chit-chat, surfacey topics to discuss, family's a great one with Spanish speakers. So how's the family, your children? ¿Cómo le va en el trabajo recientemente? How's work going recently? Interestingly enough, work is a much more common conversation for North Americans, English speakers, than it is for Spanish speakers, but it's not unheard of. But it's probably not the number one question you would ask. Like you go to a party, hey, how's work been? Or how's business? That kind of thing. That's what's kind of normal para nosotros. Pero en español, mejor la familia, maybe. ¿Qué le trae a la clínica hoy? What brings you to the clinic today? ¿Qué le pasa? What's the matter? ¿Cómo le puedo ayudar hoy? How can I help you today? Okay, so when we think about la historia del problema, there's all sorts of ways to organize your thoughts and organize your questions and make sure you cover all of the topics. A couple of acronyms that people have shared with me over the years are OLDCARTS and OPQRST. They both basically mean the same thing, cover the same topics. OLDCARTS, onset, location, duration, characteristics, aggravating factors, relieving factors, timing, and severity. And then OPQRST, onset, provocation and palliation, quality of the pain, region and radiation, severity, and timing. We're going to go with OPQRST today because it's easy for me just to remember the alphabet. Okay, OPQRST. So let's get started. For each one of these topics, I'm going to give you some questions en español that you can ask your patients, okay? All right, bien. Entonces, empezamos con onset, inicio. ¿Cuándo empezó? When did it start? And if you want to, you can just leave it right there. When did it start? O puedes definir. Whatever you're talking about, you can be more specific. ¿Cuándo empezó el dolor? When did the pain start? ¿Cuándo empezó la náusea? When did the nausea start? Etc. Okay? ¿Por cuánto tiempo? For how long? ¿Por cuánto tiempo ha tenido? So for how much time have you had? This is a pretty direct sort of translation from English. We're going to see another one that's a little more, let's just call it native Spanish for lack of better words, okay? ¿Por cuánto tiempo ha tenido dolor, náusea, hormigueos, tingling, por cuánto, whatever it might be, dolor de garganta, etc., okay? Here's one that is a little bit more Spanish construction, we could say. ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que tiene? So for how much time, essentially it's asking the same question. How long have you had this, that, or the other? ¿Hace cuánto tiempo, or hace cuántos días, how many days, hace cuántas semanas que tiene náusea, dolor, whatever it might be, okay? Tos, cough. ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que tuvo? This one is similar construction, but instead of tiene now, we're using the past tense tuvo. And it no longer is how long have you had. Now it's how long ago did you have. Okay? So hace cuánto tiempo que tiene? How long have you had? And you still have it now. Hace cuánto tiempo que tuvo? How long ago did you have? And of course, fill in the blank with whatever symptom or problem you're talking about. ¿Cómo empezó? How did it start? Like de repente, poco a poco, etc. Okay? ¿Qué hacía cuando empezó? What were you doing when it started? And then, empezó, yes, no question. ¿Empezó de repente o poco a poco? not really yes, no, A, B choice, right? Empezó de repente o poco a poco. Did it start suddenly or little by little? Okay, so onset. Preguntas para onset. If you can think of other onset questions, just put them in the comment area below and we'll help you with those. Provocation. So referring to it, like what's making something worse kind of thing. Que lo or la hace peor. If it's el dolor, masculine, el dolor, then it's going to be que lo hace peor, what makes it worse. If it's la náusea, for example, feminine, que la hace peor, so what makes it worse. Que lo or la empeora. Similar question, it's just that empeorar is our verb to worsen. Here we have make worse, and then empeora is our verb to worsen. Okay, so lo for something masculine, el dolor, la for something feminine, like la náusea. ¿Cuáles cosas provocan whatever symptom is you're talking about? So what things trigger or provoke or cause whatever it is we're talking about? Que lo or la hace sentir peor. So what makes it feel worse? Okay? Referring to you. So these are all referring to it, whatever the symptom or condition or situation is. But if we want to say what makes you feel worse, for example, que le hace sentir peor? What makes you feel worse? This le being usted, you. All right, provocation. If you can think of other provocation questions, drop them down below. Oh, and by the way, if you're learning anything new right now, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get these Video Viernes updates and lessons as soon as we publish them. All right, palliation. What makes things feel better? Que lo or la hace sentir mejor. So what makes it feel better? Que le hace sentir mejor. What's your guess on the difference? Same as the peor one in the past. Lo or la is it. Le refers to you, usted, what makes you feel better. Que lo or la alivia. So aliviar is the verb to alleviate. So what alleviates it? Okay? Toma medicina or toma algo, something, para la náusea, el dolor, la tos, whatever it might be. Le ayuda. Does it help you? Okay? Bien. All right, let's take a look at qualities. Varios tipos de dolor, qualities of pain. Okay, bien. So tenemos vocabulario aquí. El dolor va y viene. Va y viene. It comes and goes. O el dolor es intermitente, intermittent. El dolor es constante. It's constant all the time. Es constante. El dolor es ardiente o quemante. It's a burning pain. Es compresión. It's like with pressure. Or es pesado, feels really heavy. Es pulsante, thump, 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 like a throbbing pain. Es irradiado, or corre por, irradiado, a radiating pain. Or corre por, corre is like a good word for running or shooting. Like, me duele el cuello y el dolor corre por el brazo, or something like that, okay? Corre por, runs or shoots through. Corre a is runs or shoots to. Okay, so me duele el diente, el dolor corre a el oído, or something like that. It's a shooting pain up to my ear, no sé. I don't even know if that's a thing. Maybe it is. Okay, muy bien. Es agudo, it's sharp. Es punzante, it's stabbing. Es sordo, it's dull. So, que tipo or qué clase de dolor es? So what kind of pain is it? You could also ask just the simple yes-no question. Es agudo? Is it sharp? Es pulsante? Is it throbbing? Es pesado? Is it a heavy? Es sordo? Is it dull? Es constante o es intermitente? Es constante o va y viene? Etc. All right? Okay, region and radiation. Talking about dolor que corre or dolor irradiadora. So, ¿dónde tiene dolor? Where do you have pain? ¿Dónde le duele? Where does it hurt? Muéstreme dónde le duele. Show me where it hurts. El dolor se mueve. Now moving to radiation. El dolor se mueve. Does the pain move? El dolor corre. Does the pain run or shoot? ¿Dónde empieza? Where does it begin? ¿A dónde corre? To where does it run or shoot? Okay, so we've got region and radiation here for dolor. If you can think of others, put them down in the comment section. We'll be glad to help you with them. All right, moving on to severity. We've got the question, la pregunta básica, ¿cuánto le duele? How much does it hurt? ¿Cuánto le duele? En una escala de 0 a 10, on a scale of 0 to 10. You could make it 1 en una escala de 1 a 10. Another common question, ¿cómo está el dolor en una escala de 0 a 10? 0 es sin dolor. 0 es sin dolor, no dolor. 10 es el peor dolor, mucho dolor, ¿verdad? So, está leve, it's light. Está moderado, it's moderate. Está severo o está fuerte, it's really strong. Está muy severo, muy fuerte, etc. Or the verb it hurts. Me duele un poquito. Me duele un poco, it hurts a little. Me duele mucho, or me duele muchísimo, a lot. Okay, so un poquito is less than un poco, like a tiny bit. Un poco, a little bit. Mucho, a lot. Okay, bien. Let's look at some of these questions para severidad. So, ¿le duele mucho o poco? Does it hurt a lot or a little? ¿El dolor está fuerte, leve o moderado? Is the pain really strong, light, or moderate? Okay. ¿Cómo está el dolor en una escala de 0 a 10? So how is the pain on a scale of 0 to 10? ¿Cuánto le duele? Same question. How much does it hurt en una escala de 0 a 10? 0 es sin dolor. 0 is no pain. 10 es el peor dolor. Okay, bien. Severity. If you can think of other severity questions, make sure you comment below and we'll help you with them. Timing. ¿Cuánto tiempo dura? How long does it last? ¿Cuánto tiempo dura? ¿Cuándo está mejor y peor? When is it better? When is it worse? ¿Le duele, for example, en la mañana? Does it hurt in the morning? ¿Le duele en la tarde? ¿Le duele en la noche? Now, if we're talking timing with other symptoms, for example, then we would just change out le duele and we might ask the question, ¿tiene? Do you have? Like nausea, for example, back to nausea. ¿Tiene náusea en la mañana? ¿Tiene náusea en la tarde? ¿Tiene náusea en la noche? Etc. Antes de comer, before eating, después de comer, after eating, okay? When we think about timing, we also think about all those actions that people do throughout the day. And so that requires a bunch of verbs. Here is a list of verbos that might be handy when you're talking about, does it hurt when you fill in the blank? ¿Le duele cuando? ¿Le duele cuando corre? When you run. ¿Cuando camina? When you walk. ¿Cuando hace ejercicio? When you exercise. ¿Cuando se esfuerza? When you exert yourself or when you strain. ¿Cuando come? When you eat. ¿Cuando usa el baño? When you use the bathroom. ¿Cuando tose? When you cough. ¿Cuando respira? When you breathe. ¿Cuando se levanta? The action of getting up. When you get up. Now, again, if we want to talk about other symptoms, forget about le duele and we just put in the verb tener there. So tiene náusea, for example, or mareo, dizziness. Tiene mareo cuando se levanta, when you stand up. Do you have dizziness when you stand up? Now, what if it's not the motion of getting up, but when they're on their feet? Cuando está de pie, when you're on your feet. ¿Tiene mareo cuando está de pie? Okay, so we've got se levanta, the action of getting up. Está de pie, the position of being on your feet, standing. Okay, so le duele cuando, does it hurt when? Or you can, again, swap this out with tener and any other symptom that you might be talking about. Se sienta, when you sit. Está sentado, when you are seated. Se acuesta, when you lie down, the action. Cuando está acostado, the position of being laying down. Tiene relaciones. This is a delicate way of saying when you have sex. Cuando hay luz brillante, when there's a bright light. Cuando hay mucho ruido, when there's a lot of noise. Cuando se suena la nariz, when you blow your nose. Okay, bien. So we've got timing, preguntas. There are probably plenty of other actions and verbs that you would want to be able to ask your patients about. Comment below. We'll be glad to help you with them. All right, so that's it. That's OPQRST. Let's look at some casos, some cases that you could use in some partner practice, okay? So caso número 1. Yesenia tiene 15 años y tiene mucho dolor del oído derecho. So Yesenia is 15 years old and she's got a lot of right ear pain. Hay un líquido amarillento que sale del oído también. There's a yellowish liquid that is coming out of her ear also. Su papá le dio unos antibióticos. Her dad gave her some antibiotics que tenía guardados that he had stored, pero no ayudó, but it didn't help. Okay, so that's one case to chat about with your compañero. Caso número 2. Pablo tiene 40 años, so Pablo's 40, y tiene dolor de garganta por 2 días. He's got a sore throat for 2 days. No tiene muchas ganas de comer. He doesn't have a lot of interest in eating porque le duele tanto, because it hurts so much. También tiene escalofríos y muy poca energía. He's also got the chills and real low energy. Okay? So, otro caso para conversar con tu compañero. So what would you do? Of course, you'd ask your partner to play the role of this patient or the other patient or the next one I'm going to show you here in a second. And you work through the history of the problem questions, OPQRST. Okay? Caso número 3. Is Jorge, tiene 55 años. Jorge's 55, tiene dolor de estómago. He's got a stomach ache. Hace mucho tiempo que su abdomen es medio sensible. So for a while now, his stomach has been sort of sensitive, okay? Pero recientemente le duele más que normal. But recently it's been hurting more than normal. Tiene diarrea con frecuencia. He's got diarrhea often, pero no ahora mismo, but not right now. Ahora tiene escalofríos. Now he's got the chills, náuseas, y ganas de vomitar. And he wants to vomit. Okay? Bien. So those are tres casos para conversar con tus amigos, tus compañeros de práctica. Preguntas. Make sure you post questions below in the comment section. We'll be glad to answer them for you. And again, if you have other things that you need to know based on the history of the problem, put them in the comment section. We'll be glad to interact with you there. If you need a conversation partner, head over to the Learning Medical Spanish Facebook group. Put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm Rory, I'm an intermediate speaker, and I'm looking for a conversation partner to work through video viernes lessons. Yeah? Okay, muy bien. Again, if you are learning something from this video, if you have learned something from this video, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'll be glad to send you more lessons as soon as we put them out. All right, por el momento, gracias por aprender español conmigo. Thanks for learning Spanish with me. Juntos mejoramos comunidades. Together we really are improving communities. Para más español, head over to the website commongroundinternational.com. And if you'd like to take a medical Spanish terminology test, unlimited number of terminology tests, head over to Certified Spanish, create your free account, and you can take as many medical Spanish terminology tests as you would like. All right, amigos, hasta luego. Nos vemos pronto. Ciao.